Greetings. Welcome to Mystic Moons. Early morning, late night, midday, whatever time it is. In your time zone, it's time for Mystic Moons to join with others around the globe who seek answers, who travel in the ether, ask questions, try to get outside their boxes, their individual boxes, and just try to find out what is really happening, because we know, many of us, especially in the United States, we're not going to get a straight answer. So we might as well pick each other's ether and spirits and delve into the extrasensory psychic nature of being human. So, welcome to everyone to join this trip. We're going to explore politics, political tarot. Every day we hear so much about Trump. Trump. Man of the year, meeting this person, that person. And you have to ask yourself, gee, Biden still has about 6 or so weeks left of his administration. Why is everything about the president-elect Trump and not about Biden? Anything about Biden is usually not welcome news. There's no great hurrah, hooray, bravo. There's nothing. There's just grumbling. And you'd have to ask yourself, let's ask this question. Is Trump the de facto president? Is he? Is he actually the de facto president? And Biden is just standing in there as a placeholder. Is he? So we're going to do a reading today about that. And we're going to see. So let's hop aboard our space shuttle. And let's get into our psychic seats with our belts firmly keeping us grounded. Put on our psychic caps. And let's wander through the ether. Let's wander through D.C., Washington, D.C. And let's see. And ask the question, who is the real president right now? Who is the president right now? Is it Trump or is it Biden? Biden is going through almost like a toilet paper list of pardons. He is just cleaning up some of the mess that he made. Some of the mess, not all. Just enough to he and his chosen ones can continue to enjoy the fruits of their labor. It's not sitting very well with the population of the United States. Yes, we're grumbling. Doesn't seem fair. But we all know that life is not fair. So, and somehow when we elect officials to do our bidding, they join a club and they do someone else's, their donor's bidding, or somebody else's altogether. So it's hard to say who is the president and who isn't the president with such a case going on. So we'll do a reading. Is Trump the de facto president of the United States? Is he? It's important to pay attention to I think, the political aspects of any country that you're in, especially when it's the country you live in. No matter about the other things that are happening, who is paraded in front of you and exalted, wrote up about, is important. It's important to know. Like, who is... Hold on a moment. Yeah, so we're trying to find out, is Trump Is Trump the de facto president? Let's see. The first card we get is the lookout. All right, so we're looking at him, looking out. Okay, look out. The Two of Wands. Two of Wands. And the next card we have is the Ten of Swords. It's the end of something. The end of something. It's a strange card. We'll have to see what that's all about. And we have here waiting for someone to show up. So it could mean that this is the end of Biden, and we have Two of Wands, and we have the Three of Wands, and we have the Ten of Swords. The next card we have is the Nine of Pentacles. And this Nine of Pentacles is the show, the waiting, the lady in waiting. Everything's all set. Everything is all set. So it looks like they're waiting for the waiting. It's happening, and it's happening. It's just a step. And this Ten of Swords could represent Biden, the Biden administration, which is pretty much in the crapper. They call it a lame duck. And de facto, of course, means in fact president. So it seems to lay itself pretty much in that effect, because he's getting all the applause. And even when he was in France, in Notre Dame, at the ceremony there, did you notice the handshake that him and Macron exchanged? It was quite almost like an arm wrestling. It was. I mean, Trump literally had his elbow up to his pierced ear. He literally was and photographed that way. It was like not a pleasant. They were like working out. You can say working out attitudes or working out conditions, but maybe it was, of course, to show people. It was a show of force. It wasn't a friendly handshake. It wasn't like, how now? No. It was a show of force. So let's look at this Ten of Wands. Let's pick out these two cards and see. Ten of Wands is the fact that, let's see, we have the Page of Pentacles and we have the Eight of Cups. Under this Ten of Swords, dead on delivery, nothing to see here. And the third one, the Hermit. The Hermit. It looks like that we have here a Biden administration that is no one is really caring about. No one is caring about what Biden does anymore or what he appears to do. He doesn't have any type of pizzazz. It's not for him. This is Trump. Look out, waiting, and having. He's doing it. I would say that right now that in at least 10 out of 12 reasons or conditions of presidency, Trump is doing it. It looks as though that Biden is out in the cold. He has a little spark, but he's just like not, he's just being snuffed out. He is being snuffed out. So that's what I conclude for like Joe Biden. So I would say that, yes, in fact, Trump is the man of the hour, the man of the year. He's being risen to a Messiah type level, whereas Joe Biden is being put like, you look at him and he seems like a blow-up doll. His eyes can't be focused. He has this strange look on his face. Of course, if it is his face and not like a plastic face mask put over someone, an actor, you don't know. We don't know anything. We do know that all heads of state use doubles. We know that. And we also can think that they also use more than just a double. However, we can say right now that Trump is the de facto president. I would say 75% or more, he is the de facto president. Now let's look upon the Dems, are they going to go out? The Democratic ruling administration, is it going to go out quietly, or do they have something planned for Trump? I mean, we do have 6 weeks before Trump is actually elected. 6 weeks is a long time. Times 7, it's almost 50 days. 50 days and 50 nights. That's plenty of scenarios. Maybe they're giving Trump all the king's comments now, prior to doing something. Can the Dems really just let him just come in? Or do they have a secret plan? My cats are like being aggressive. Are they? Or do they have a secret plan? Let's see if the Democrats have a secret plan. They could, see, in theory, you could like take the 14th Amendment. And in the last 6 weeks, Biden could resign. He could resign. He could. Saying, I made a faulty judgment because Trump still has 2 legal cases against him, which makes him unsuitable, technically, for a position. It could. And in fact, Biden is so low, he could take his position too and take that into the crapper and saying, I also resign because I made the decision to allow the situation to continue. So it's either the 14th or the 25th Amendment that allows the president to rescind the presumptive president-elect because he has a tarnished reputation. More than tarnished. He's committed a crime. And presidents are not allowed to take office if they commit certain crimes. Now, that would throw the country into a complete, just a complete insane party situation. Insane. Hi, how are you? True, just you, maybe. But the point is, we're trying something new here. We're wondering if that president is, first of all, we went to a reading and we saw that, yes, Trump is in fact a de facto president. And is this because they're allowing this because Biden is going to jump off? He's going to say that he made a mistake. Last minute, I made a mistake. I'm resigning my presidency and disqualifying Trump, which would allow Harris to come in. And then with a state of war going on with NATO and the rest of them, then he can do a Zelensky number, which is stay there forever. Stay there forever. I mean, Zelensky his term was over a year ago. So, I mean, the Democrats, they're pretty crafty people. Any ruling regime is crafty. And we've seen. So here we have the Knight of Cups. All right. This is a message. This is like, are the Democrats, the Dems, going to allow Trump to be inaugurated on January the 20th, 2025, without putting some kind of more trip? I mean, they're always putting some trip, even the giving a pardon to his son Hunter, with all the things that he has done, and he's giving the largest pardon to so many people in history. And we have here, he is one thing about Biden. He's pissed that Harris took over his scene because they said he was mentally incompetent. Now, if he was so mentally incompetent, how come he is still running the show in appearance anyway? I mean, the man has been almost like Lazarus, dead and resurrected again. And here we have the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles. Huh. There it does look like we have the Cups, the Knight of Cups, and we have the Four of Pentacles, and we have the Three of Pentacles. It's like somebody's head, it seems like they're going to try, because those 2 cases in New York have not been, and also I think Georgia, there's 2 cases against him that have not been dismissed, and they some have, but not all. And maybe they're just seeing how they can swing it. And look at this, crash and burn. Crash and burn. Yes, they're going to try one more thing against Trump. That's why they're allowing him. One thing about Trump, we all know, Trump loves attention. He does. He does. And he feels very, very grandiose when he gets attention. And he is quite a remarkable presence, we have to admit. And the fact that they're like Man of the Year, going to meet, Macron, and the ceremony, the symbolic ceremony of Notre Dame. Now, anybody who's been to that cathedral knows how big it is. So I imagine just you feel very, very, very something when you go into a ceremony and you're representing a country in that huge historical building. And of course, they go a lot for rituals. Everything was a ritual. It's one thing about what's happening now. It's all ritual based. It's not what's good for the countries, what's good for the people. It's they're following ritual acts. So look at this. We have the Knight of Cups, which is going to be like an emotional plea. Biden could say, I finally got my mind together, got my head together, and I could see that I made a big mistake. Already they have one of his cabinet members saying they made a mistake in Afghanistan, of which they left all those supplies for the rebels, money, cash, weapon, blah, blah, blah. And he already said we made a mistake. I mean, they're already admitting their failures, and they're not even out the back door yet. So it just seems like it's quite possible that Biden can go along and say, I made a mistake. I'm resigning. I was a mess. I'm giving the helm to Harris, making her the first woman president, even if it's only for a couple of weeks. But wait. They can be all happy. The left can be rah, 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 rah. And the country goes crash and burn. They can stop Donald Trump from turning himself into a legally elected, anointed president. The inauguration will not happen if they can get this through. And they have to get Biden to admit that he's a complete bumblehead. Complete bumblehead. There's no way in the animal farm that he didn't know that he could stop himself any longer. He will admit in a moment of lucidity, sanity, he will say, yes, I remember I should have done this. I am not fit. And Kamala, you can go ahead and do it. And then Donald, I made a mistake. You cannot be president. Something is going on there. They're stroking his ego too much. How many people have you ever known? President got all these accolades, attention, and awards prior to be actually inaugurated. Which means even the Electoral College has not been held the vote. So there's a lot of steps that we're kind of leaping like a grasshopper. But maybe we should just take a step back and remember, we have an administration. We have a party, Obama, Soros, etc., who have tremendous things at stake, tremendous ego. Do you really think that Biden is going to stand by and let Trump dismantle all his programs, all his executive orders without one last hurrah, one last push? I don't think so. So I say that yes, without even having to examine any of these. I say that, yes, they have one last hurrah. Either it's the 25th or 14th Amendment they're going to pull. And since he's already sullied himself, soiled his pants, Biden, why not? Is it going to really kill him, the man in his state, to be one more thing against himself? So I would say yes. If anybody has any comment, do you agree? Do you see the opening here? Because they're giving him too much too soon. It's almost like you're having dessert before you have your entree. See what I mean? There's something missing. And it's a situation that could be quite devastating. Now we have here this scenario being set up. We have the drones up and down the East Coast and elsewhere. Anyway, there's a military establishment. There's, anyway, West Point, Picatinny Arsenal in North Jersey. And of course, Jersey has so many military. Fort McGuire, I think, is in there. I mean, there's so many bases all over. I mean, there's books about where the bases are. And I'm sure they all have drone activity over them. Anyway, the point of the matter is they're saying the UFOs, drones, the submarines, the missiles being ready to be struck on either side, East Coast, West Coast. And we do have a disaster that seems to be like rumbling for the first time. This St. Andreas fault line is also making noise, which hasn't done in I don't know how long, if ever. So, I mean, we have a lot of potential. We have a lot of potential chaos coming right now. So why not throw a few bones to Donald Trump? That could be the prevailing thought. You can't trust Macron. And the way that they were, shaking each other's hands after Trump went ahead and did that manhandle type thing. And then, okay, Trump, we may know. Macron, we may know he could be a little swishy. We can imagine. But not Trump. So, I mean, why was he allowing this Macron, who's already people can't stand him, giving him all these handshakes and touching him all over the place? So it's all these strange signals that we should be noting, we should be watching. It's one thing about humans, we are, of course, subject to flattery. And each one of us has our weak points that we must grow stronger. And it just seems as though there's something going on. You can't really trust. You can't trust certain people, certain scenarios, especially when they've gone through so much. I mean, they really put Trump through a lot. And do you think Trump, when he gets in power, he's going to really just write it off like brouhaha? I don't think so. So we'll have to wait and see, but it seems like the Dems have something planned in the next 5 or 6 weeks prior to 1/20/25. We'll just have to see. So anyway, that was a interesting way of thinking. It's not conspiracy. It's just asking questions. Why? And one thing people in a free republic, can do is ask questions. And that's what we will continue to do, to ask questions. You can call us as many names as you want, but it doesn't matter. We will still ask questions because we want some answers. It doesn't seem as though everything is as it seems. And especially too, when you're in a situation that everything has hierarchy. What are we supposed to do? Pretend to be deaf, dumb, and blind forever? No. Let's wake up, everyone. Let's wake up and ask questions. So let's find out. We'll soon find out. Anyway, let's get back. Let's just relax, come down a bit or two. Get back in our bodies and think about what's really going on. Trump, the de facto president, and what are the Dems plotting? What are the Dems plotting in the remaining few weeks? Want to go for Amendment 25 or Amendment 14? Check them out. I surrender. Could be a point of change. All right, thank you very much. And so long, true. Love you. Bye-bye.